May 8th, 1945. The guns finally fell silent. Europe lay in ruins. But for over 11 million German soldiers who surrendered, the war hadn't truly ended. A new battle for survival was just beginning. Their fate would depend entirely on one terrifying question: who did you surrender to, the Americans or the Soviets? Those who surrendered on the Western Front were considered the lucky ones, but they did not find paradise. They were herded into the Rheinwiesenlager, vast open-air camps along the muddy banks of the Rhine River. To bypass the Geneva Convention's requirements for food and housing, the Allies reclassified them not as prisoners of war, but as disarmed enemy forces. For months, thousands perished from exposure and malnutrition, right in the heart of Europe. However, the true nightmare awaited in the East. For the 3 million German soldiers captured by the Red Army, the concept of going home was a distant dream. Stalin needed free labor to rebuild his shattered country. These men were packed into cattle cars and shipped to the Gulags of Siberia. Forced labor, freezing temperatures, and starvation became their daily reality. Consider the survivors of Stalingrad. Out of 90,000 prisoners, only 5,000 would ever see Germany again. But what about those who felt they had no future? Surprisingly, thousands of former Wehrmacht and SS soldiers, men who knew nothing but war, found a new employer. They joined the French Foreign Legion. Ironically, in the 1950s, many German veterans found themselves fighting and dying in the jungles of Vietnam during the First Indochina War, this time under the French flag. For the last survivors in the Soviet Union, freedom came late. It wasn't until 1955, a full decade after the war ended, that Chancellor Konrad Adenauer secured their release. When the trains finally arrived in Germany, these broken men stepped out to find a world that had moved on. Their children had grown up, their wives had aged, and their country was divided. The war was finally over, but the scars would last forever.